Hello and welcome back to a brand new Inspirational Messages for Today conversation where I am going to be reading an excerpt from a book titled Sunday Ink. Sunday Ink Works by the Uptown Writers. And in this, I'll be sharing a poem. Let me tell you what I believe the overall topic is that we're going to be working towards today we're going to be looking at finding your voice after receiving bad news, and you'll see in a moment why I say that. Today's poem is coming to us. So this is a book with several writers and their short stories, poems, things like that they have written and they have put in this book together. And today's poem is one that was written by a mentor of mine. Her name was Sandra Jones. Met her many years ago at a job that I had, and she was actually a mentor to many people. So many people loved her, me included. And let me go ahead and share with you the poem that she wrote. She has 3 poems in this book, and the third one that is published in here is titled "You Have Cancer." And so please don't internalize that phrase for yourself. Whether you have personal experience with that or not, please do not internalize that. But I believe that this has relevance for a lot of people. So this poem is titled, "You Have Cancer." It was okay hearing it with an audience, receiving it cold and methodically. Immediately enraged at its sneaky intrusion, I sensed that I could beat it. Having him tell me that way called out my interior warrior performer, making it real. A viable enemy, yes, but not the total threat had this news arrived by letter, inside some deceptively bland, white envelope with a clear window to the end of one's life. So, and again, this was written by Sandra E. Jones inside this book, Sunday Ink. I'm going to read this one more time. I'm going to read it one more time, and you may hear it differently the second time. So here we go. This is titled, "You Have Cancer." It was okay hearing it with an audience, receiving it cold and methodically. Immediately enraged at its sneaky intrusion, I sensed that I could beat it. Having him tell me that way called out my interior warrior performer, making it real. A viable enemy, yes, but not the total threat had this news arrived by letter, inside some deceptively bland, white envelope with a clear window to the end of one's life. Okay, so why did I want to share this with you? Well, first off, I want to share it because, again, it's written by a mentor of mine, Sandra Jones. Just so grateful for her. And she, unfortunately, did end up with leukemia, and she did not make it through. And this is actually now over a decade ago. So this is not new, but it is new that I actually saw this poem in this book of hers that I believe was published in 2010. I saw some of the other writings that she had in here, but I had not seen, this is 2010, but I had not seen this one yet. And as I read this, first off, I was like, oh my goodness, is she saying that she received the news via letter? And I kind of go both ways with it because there's actually a little visual. I want to, if you can see this on screen, it's an envelope with a knife, as if cutting through the envelope. They've got a little symbolism going on up there. And so I'm actually not sure if she did receive the news via letter or if she's saying she's glad that she didn't. Either way, it wasn't pleasant news, right? She was enraged at its sneaky intrusion, which leads me to think she received it via a letter. But then she mentions, had this news arrived by letter, which makes me think that she didn't receive it by a letter. Either way, not pleasant news to receive, right? And we're going to pull cards in just a moment here. But I wanted to share that I did do just a quick little Google search. Like, is that common for people to receive news of an illness via letter? And apparently, Some studies suggest that 16 to 40% of patients with cancer have received their diagnosis over the phone and or through the mail. And I was shocked to hear that. And that is from the National Center for Biotechnology Information. From the Journal of Clinical Oncology. So that is apparently that is how it occurs for some people. Now, we're going to pull cards in a moment. And the reason why I am focusing on this topic of finding your voice after receiving bad news is because, oh my goodness, to be someone who receives such unpleasant news in a cold fashion like that, right? Via a written letter versus in-person meeting with your doctor. Or let's say this can apply to so many other things. You receive some bad news and maybe you feel like the rug's been pulled out from under you. You feel like you've been taken off course. And now you're feeling, she mentioned enraged at its sneaky intrusion. And it called out her interior warrior performer, right? This aspect of her that wanted to come through and be so strong and bold. Okay. When we go through situations that catch us off guard, that are unpleasant, that might feel like it has more power than us individually, we may have trouble finding our voice at first. And so I'm really glad to know that Sandra was actually still able to utilize her voice through writing and having her writing published. But does this resonate for you? Let's pull some cards to really support you in being able to find just some inspired messages to further support you in reconnecting with your voice and finding that internal strength, because no matter what happens outside any of us, we absolutely still have power. And it's key that you find a way that you can feel that power and be able to utilize that through your voice, through whatever it is that you want to communicate. And, preferably in a healthy, balanced way, right? Because we could use our voice in all sorts of ways. But let's see what the cards say. I love doing this. We haven't done this in a while. And so let's see what added messages want to come through. So I'm going to first pull from my deck, the Everyday is a New Day deck, which you absolutely can purchase. And I'll post a link to that down in the description of today's podcast or YouTube video, wherever you are connecting with this conversation. And let's see what message wants to come through this deck. Yes, I love it when they pop out. This first one says, it's 100% okay to feel what you feel. Allow yourself to feel and be. It's 100% okay to feel what you feel. Allow yourself to feel and be. Amen. Hallelujah. That is the key to being able to step back into a space of feeling more aligned and powerful. You got to feel what it is you feel. Really be clear on that and just allow it to be. And eventually you just can release it and now choose to move in a higher vibration direction. And that's really just a factual statement. Okay. There's no feelings are bad. All feelings are information. I've said that many times before, but that's really relevant to this conversation as well. So, okay. So that's what we're starting with. And as always, let me know what you're taking away from, these conversations or what comes up for you as these cards come through. It's always take what resonates, leave what does not. Always, always. Okay. Let's move on to, I'm going to move into a spirit animal oracle card deck. And this is by Colette Baron Reed. What animals would like to come through? Really deliver a message in support of you being able to find your voice after receiving some unpleasant news. What spirit animal wants to come through in support? Okay. Of today's message, we have butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. This is so excellent. Butterfly spirit, because what happens when we go through something challenging and come out on the other side of it? You become the butterfly. Come the butterfly, moving from the caterpillar before the news to the cocoon when you receive the news. And now you're in the process of having to just feel whatever you feel and coming out on the other side, this transformed, beautiful butterfly. Oh, I love this. I'm loving this conversation. Okay, is there another animal that wants to come through? Maybe. Let's see, what other? There we go. Ooh, what is this one? We have spider spirit. And it says, make your dreams real. Okay, so butterfly spirit is card number 11, which is always awesome because number 11 is basically representative of a gateway, moving through to the other side of whatever you're dealing with. And here on Spider Spirit, it is card number 56. And of course, the spider has woven a web and make your dreams real. Sometimes we don't, there's all those stories or movies out there about, someone doesn't take time to really focus on their dreams and the things that they really want to do and accomplish in the world until they're faced with some unpleasant news, right? Until you're faced with something that reminds you that, time is the thing that we deal with here on earth, right? And at some point, the time will end. Now you're an infinite being and, the time will, so to speak, continue in a way. Time isn't a thing on the other side, but you will continue on the other side. But while you're here on earth, alive in the body that you have right here, right now, today, are you making your dreams real? Do we need to wait for some catastrophic news to show up before we choose to finally say yes to our dreams, to the things that really matter most to us in the world, to you, right? Love that. That's a great reminder. Thank you for that. Okay. And every little bit counts. So maybe you're thinking, my dreams are so big and it's going to take forever. Hey, this spider wove this web one bit at a time, one web at a time, right? And at some point, then you see all the connections that have been made. And whether you like spiders or not, don't get me wrong. Okay. I'm not a fan of spiders myself. I get it. And yet I know that spiders are, what's the word? Spiders are, they're symbolic of actually positive things and a woman's strength, a woman's power and creative power. And I think also magic. And when I use that word, I like to think of magic in the positive sense of a person being, having pure intent to create good in the world, in their life and in the world at large. And so just keep that in mind. It's one web at a time. It all comes together and it's really dependent on us believing in ourselves and our dreams. Okay. And this butterfly card is symbolic of that too, actually, because behind the butterfly, there are all these curlings of like drawings. I don't know what to call that. Anyway, just kind of driving that point home to me about it all comes together one bit at a time. Okay, let's see what else. I have lots of new decks and I love pulling from them, love sharing them. So let's see. You know what? I'm going to move on to, I have Ina Segal's Heal Yourself cards. So let's see what this deck wants to share. And I hope you're enjoying today's conversation, just allowing yourself to be present, be here right now, receive, the message, the intuitive messages, the intuitive hits that show up for you as you listen and engage in today's conversation. Okay, what message wants to come through from this deck for anybody and everybody that is listening to today's conversation? What's the message that wants to come through this deck? And I love when they pop out. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to decide. Let's see here. What? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and actually pull. I use that phrase. I'm going to pull cards, but I don't typically pull cards. I typically let cards show themselves. I'm actually going to pull a card this time. So let's see. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Phoenix Rising. Wow. And this is card number 32. Okay, so I'm just allowing myself to feel this and receive this right now because, again, like I said, I don't typically pull cards. So what are you feeling as you see this card show up in today's message? When we go through some of the hardest things we've ever been through in life, and we call forth that aspect within ourselves. I'm going to go back to Sandra's poem. Oh goodness, where was it? I didn't flag it. And we have that internal warrior that she was talking about. Her interior warrior performer. A viable enemy, yes, but not the total threat. I sensed that I could beat it. She sensed that she could beat it. Now, Sandra, unfortunately, this is, this was at the end of her life. She's no longer here on earth with us, but people are able to beat cancer and various illnesses. It happens all the time. And I will always be someone who believes that anything is possible. And so the key is really, to what degree do you believe it's possible? And what do you feel is really right for you? There's this such a bigger conversation, right? But so, as you may go through anything that feels challenging, you may begin to really sense and feel this phoenix rising from within you, phoenix rising from the ashes, also able to beat whatever it is that you may feel is taking you down or attempting to take you down, attempting to overcome or usurp your power. To what degree is it calling you to realign with your own power even more than maybe you thought you already were? To what degree may you actually benefit from letting go of whatever other things may be taking up your time or your energy, your focus, away from being able to fully stand in your power and be that powerful, strong phoenix rising. Okay, love the direction this is all going. Love it, love it, love it. You are powerful. Just did a podcast episode with Marbeth Dunn and Terry Angel talking about 10 million for world peace. And we brought the conversation back down to the individual. It starts with one person. You are powerful. And we can benefit from having someone remind us of our power, right? And essentially tell us that we have permission to be in our power. And yet for you to experience and utilize your power with pure intent for the good of all, for the good of yourself and others, it doesn't require anybody to give you permission. It really is all within you and just simply about you tapping into you, believing in your power, learning about what does that mean? What does that look like? How does that feel? The power of your thoughts, your words, your energy as a whole. Love this. Okay, and I love the decks that I have. I freaking love these decks. Let me know if you like these decks as well. I have so many decks and I love them. It's so fun for me. Okay, we're going to do... okay, I'm going to do an angel card last. We'll do an angel card last. I'm going to move on to Spirit Oracle. And this is by Tony Carmine Salerno. This is my newest deck. My newest deck. And this deck is so gorgeous. The colors and the drawings. These were paintings that were, then put into a card deck. So gorgeous, so beautiful. So, and you know what? I'm going to show you this again, this tree of life on the front of this. Just see that and allow yourself to feel into that. Whatever you're going through, tap into nature's power to be able to support you through it. Be able to feel the love and the abundance, the strength of a tree. Tap into that. As you regain your power and your connection to all that is, you are also nature. Allow the trees to support you in that. The tree in this image that I'm showing on screen right now for those who are with me on video, as well as the trees in your neighborhood, wherever you are, any and all trees, they're all connected. You have a massive support system right where you are. Okay, let's see what message wants to come through this deck. Some of these are backwards now. Interesting. Okay, let's see. What message wants to come through this deck? Just simply aligning my energy really quick with it. Okay, let's see what message wants to come through. What message wants to come through in support of finding your voice after receiving bad news, feeling that internal strength and power? What message wants to come through? No, not yet. Okay, here we go. Woo! We have the journey. The journey. And the message on the back says, keep soaring to new heights. Experiment, play. Allow your spirit the freedom to explore exciting possibilities. Follow the rainbow across the horizon. A pot of gold awaits. And so the image on screen there is basically an ocean, and there's mountains in the back. And then we see the sun coming up behind the mountains, and of course, a beautiful rainbow. And that reflection of the sun sparkling through. That's like the phoenix rising, the butterfly coming through. The rainbow after the storm. I'm going to read this card again. Keep soaring to new heights. Experiment, play. Allow your spirit the freedom to explore exciting possibilities. Follow the rainbow across the horizon. A pot of gold awaits. So if you're in this space of feeling that you can't speak your truth, feeling that you aren't able to step into your power, and maybe you are used to doing that through your voice, or maybe you're just feeling that you now want to do that through your voice. Our voices are so powerful. The words we speak are powerful. And what this is saying to follow the threads, follow the rainbow. So follow the things that feel good. As you're in the space of feeling whatever you feel, and then something new shows up, right? And you're like, ooh, maybe you feel intrigued, or that feels good, or that feels interesting. Many years ago, I was going through a heartbreak, a relationship breakup. And I all of a sudden just had this desire to want to go hiking. Now, that may not sound like much to anybody else, but I had never wanted to go hiking before. So it was a new thing at the time. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, yeah, I want to go hiking. And she's like, what? Why do you want to do that? So other people around you may be surprised, or, may not quite understand why you feel called to go in a certain direction, but follow the rainbow. A pot of gold awaits. And at the time, that's exactly what awaited me. I ended up going on a hike that led me to meeting this one lady that became a friend, that introduced me to a guy that became a boyfriend at the time. And we only lasted for about 6 months, but that was very powerful for me. What that whole experience of meeting her and hiking, and the relationship, and what came through the relationship, and the healing that I received from the previous situation to the new one, and just how it all came together, things that were going on in his life, and how I know I and our relationship contributed to things that benefited him too. I mean, it's just follow the rainbow, keep soaring to new heights. Allow yourself to continue that journey of becoming the butterfly. And what's the key? What's the thing that we know? You've probably heard about butterflies. You cannot rush the process. We cannot rush the process. So when we're in a state of healing or finding your voice, right? You cannot rush the process, but do follow the signs that show up for you. When you can still, if you are struggling to utilize your voice, you can still internally ask, show me the way, guide me. What's the best next direction for me to go in? Your thoughts, your internal asking, you're generating that energy. The universe hears you and they answer you. And so notice what shows up so that you can see what those threads are and follow them. Okay, let's move on to another card deck. Let's see. Let's move on to, okay, we're going to go ahead and use, I kept debating if I wanted to use this deck or not. So we're going to move on to the Healing Energy Oracle. Healing Energy Oracle deck. And this is a Mario Duguay deck. This is also a wonderful deck. I love this one. Okay, so let's see here. What mess? Ooh. Okay. Well. Okay, we got a few. Oh, how. So we have a few that came through. I love it. Okay, so we have inner strength. Okay, we have inner strength. We have choice, and we have wisdom. Inner strength, choice, and wisdom. I'll read each of these. These are short messages. Inner strength says, nothing moves me from my path to the light because I have complete confidence in myself. I realize my innate qualities and abilities and know that with God, I can do anything. All the power I need is within me. Then we have choice. I choose serenity, light, and positive energy. No matter what I go through, I choose happiness. I rise above fear and direct my thoughts to God. Okay, and we have wisdom. God has a plan for me. I live here, now, knowing beauty is to come. I don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided for me. I learn from my experiences, take small steps in faith, and succeed thanks to all my efforts. I hope you can see why I love doing these, and I hope you were enjoying this too. So these, as you heard, these basically are written as affirmations. So you can use these messages. I'll hold them up closer. Wisdom. If you want to take a snapshot, you can do that. Wisdom. Then we have choice. And then we have inner strength. There we go. And so this, of course, is reiterating a lot of the statements already made today. And the other thing I want to point out about this is this is also showcasing energy moving through, I like to think, a human body. And so you may want to, look back at any of these images and maybe meditate on them and just maybe even visualize how you visualize light moving through your body, whichever card you resonate with most, or maybe all of them. Let's say you resonate most with inner strength, or you want to feel more inner strength. Visualize light moving through your body like this. You could think of it as light really being present in your head, your upper portion of your body. And then, of course, going down to your heart and expanding out like wings, like a phoenix, expanding out from your heart space across your shoulders, your arms. And then, of course, going all the way down and connecting with, I'm going to say that, that's the root chakra, maybe even the sacral chakra area. And does it end there? No, it does not. It still continues down, and you ground your energy into the earth. So this is just one example. You can look back on any of these cards and visualize light flowing through your body in these shapes that it's making, and just sort of tap into what that's like to have that inner strength in the form of light in your body. You are light. You are a light being. Yeah. And if you'd like to join the Let Your Light Shine movement, I'd love to see you sign up. It's all free. And you can do that by going to letyourlightshinemovement.com. Okay, there's an opportunity to be featured on social media, and I'd love to be able to do that for you if you choose to do that. So you'll have to check your emails for that part. Okay, let's do just a few more decks, and then we're going to wrap it up. And so we have the Prism Oracle deck. This one has various symbolism on them, and I love it. And of course, colors. So let's see what messages want to come through this deck in support of the message of finding your voice after receiving bad news. Allowing that energy to flow through. Finding your voice after receiving bad news. What message wants to come through? For those who are receiving the messages of today's conversation. So glad to have you here as always. Okay. Whew. Okay, we have mystery. Interesting. Okay, and you know what? Here's the thing. This card turned upside down. So my initial thought is it's not a mystery. So when we're going through something, and so of course, take this as it resonates, right? So when we have situations in life that confuse us, I was going to use the word confound, but I don't think I'm using it in the right context actually, but I'm going to say it anyway, confound. When we have situations, bad news, unexpected news, something just feels like it blows up and turns your world upside down, and you feel like you've had the rug pulled out from under you, right? And maybe you're thinking, what do I do? Maybe you're feeling like you lost your power. And it may feel like it's a mystery of how you're going to move beyond this situation. And what if we were to actually look at that scenario as mystery in the reverse? It's not actually a mystery. Maybe that's the illusion of it. We think that this thing that comes out of left field can be so powerful to completely take us off course. And what if you tap back into your power and realize, you know what? It's actually not a mystery. That's the actual bigger challenge, is that, okay, this other thing in the world in my life can show up, and I am still the powerful light being that I am and have always been. And maybe this is the first time of you tapping back into that, or maybe it's a reminder for you to go, that's right. That's right. This other thing that has shown up is not any more powerful than you are, than you have the capacity to also be. And so what does that mean for you? How do you embody that knowing? The illusion is that it's a mystery, but in essence, it's not a mystery at all. It still always comes back to you. Aligning with love, aligning with your truth, aligning with your power, allowing that energy to flow to you and through you, allowing it to connect with your throat, connect with all your energy centers and all of your body, expand all the way throughout so that you can speak freely. For anybody who's looking for coaching or guidance with a scenario, this is something that tends to show up in coaching sessions with my clients. I often hear that coaching sessions, my clients have a very therapeutic experience when we work together. So if this is resonating for you and you'd like to know how we can work together, please visit KimO'NeillCoaching.com. And of course, my last name is spelled ONEILL KimO'NeillCoaching.com, KimO'neillCoaching.com. Reach out to me there for a consultation or book a session, depending on what you're looking at. Let's move on and see. We're going to do from 2 more card decks. I've got Messages of Life, another Mario Duguay deck. These are beautiful messages. I love, love, love all these card decks. And then we're going to finish with a Guardian Angel card in the end. Okay, let's see. Oh, and see, another ray of light. A lot, again, if you're with me on video, just allow yourself to take these images in. These images alone, I think, are also very healing, have the capacity to be very healing. Okay, let's see what message wants to come through. Being the receiver of abundance that you are, that you have the capacity to be. It is your birthright to be and receive. Opening up more of your ability to receive, that sense of flow and fluidity within your throat to be able to speak your truth. Speak how you are truly feeling. Maybe you're thinking that you simply want to express how you're feeling about whatever news you've received. And maybe it's important for you to tell yourself, it's okay for me to speak how I'm feeling about something. It's okay to feel what you feel. Okay, let's see what message wants to come through. This is let's see here. Whew. I connect with heaven. I connect with heaven. Today, I turn inwards and connect with the heaven within. From this place of peace, I can see that a situation I have resented is actually an ideal opportunity to work on my inner self. I understand that such experiences are necessary for my growth. Thus, I accept such situations and now live each day in serenity. This takes us right back to choice. I don't know where that card went. The card that said choice. Might be right down here. Is it right here? No, it's not. I may have put it away. I probably put it away. Okay. We have choice. We have choice in everything. And maybe that's why, why I was bringing up the interview I just did earlier today with Marbeth Dunn and Terry Angel, because they have a new project, a nonprofit called 10 Million for World Peace. Your choice to focus your energy on having peace starts with in yourself, and then of course has a beautiful reverberating effect out to the world. And as frustrating as unexpected external situations that we weren't expecting them, they're very unpleasant. Like, I don't want that, right? But maybe is your soul calling for additional growth and expansion, because you're meant to be a freaking butterfly. You're meant to be a freaking butterfly. And to be that, it's important for you to know yourself as a phoenix rising, something that can rise above anything. Come out of the ashes and you are still standing. I know what that's like for myself, and I know how infuriating certain circumstances can be all sorts of emotions, right? Anger, grief, frustration, confusion, despair. Maybe you feel like you want to give up, and yet there's that part of you inside that knows you can't give up. That there isn't really anything there for you in giving up. And so it's really calling you to new depths of going within. What did this say? It said, today I turn inwards and connect with the heaven within from this place of peace. And so you may be thinking, yeah, but Kim, I don't have peace right now. I'm the opposite of peace. Okay. And so sift through that. Feel what you feel. Allow things to show up. Speak to yourself what it is that you're feeling. Whether or not anybody else is around, speak it to yourself. Write it out. Journal it out. Today's reading came from a group of people who used to literally get together in coffee shops and write. They're people who simply enjoyed writing and allowing their messages to flow. Oh, and if I get emotional, sorry, I am so grateful for Sandra, who was a mentor, who wrote the poem that I shared with you. Allowing yourself to speak your truth through your writing. Get it out. Huge therapeutic benefit and effect for you, but also those who are going to be able to read your writing and benefit from it. And there will always be someone who is inspired by what you write. It may not be everyone, but there's someone, and just one person, makes a difference. And you don't even have to have that intent at all. Okay, I'm just throwing that in there for those who it resonates with. Maybe you simply write because it's cathartic for yourself. Okay, we're going to begin to wind down and close out with a guardian angel card, guardian angel message. And this is also a Tony Carmine Salerno deck. Look at that angel and all the light around that angel. Okay, let's see what final closing message wants to come through. Okay, I am just take a moment to just feel whatever you feel right here, right now. Feel that you are supported. Feel that you are guided in your journey, in your experience of whatever unpleasant news you've experienced. I know if you're with me, I put in the title of today's conversation, bad news, right? Because that's how we might initially experience something or perceive something. That's bad news, right? And yet good and bad are such really subjective terms, because if we are choosing to utilize what comes our way as a stepping stone, as an opportunity for growth, then nothing is ever bad. You just use all of it as stepping stones, as I said. It's all for your elevation. It's all for your positive transformation. It's all for your growth. Anything and everything, literally. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's see what message wants to come through. Okay. Angels, guardian angels, what message do you have for the people who are, there we go. And no, there's two here. Okay. So we'll read both. The first one, interesting. Okay. So the first one is, so there's really just one card here, okay? But I will say something about the other one. So the primary card we have here is self-criticism. Self-criticism. Are you criticizing yourself through your journey? So let's see what it says. It says, we, your angels, ask you to please be more compassionate towards yourself. Observe the times when you have critical thoughts about you and make an effort to replace these negative thoughts with positive, loving ones. You are a wondrous being of light, even if at times you think you are less than perfect. Remember that God and divine perfection exist in all things. And that is truth right there. God does not make imperfect things, right? And so here as humans, I consider myself a recovering perfectionist, and I like the phrase that we are perfectly imperfect, and yet in how we were made is perfect. You are already lovable. You are already worthy. You are already this amazing light being, but you also have power. It's that power of choice. It's that power of choice to say, am I going to choose to believe in my light, in my power? Am I going to choose to believe that I can overcome this? Am I going to choose to believe that I can grow, that I can come out on the other side of this situation feeling more empowered, feeling stronger and healed? Am I going to choose to believe in that? Or am I going to try to usurp it, go around it, and operate in a way that is actually disempowered? right? There can be all different ways that we think of using our power and our strength that actually are not very empowered. You can do that. Or you can choose to say, nope, I'm going to use this as a learning opportunity. There's like a phrase, what is it? Learning block, learning moment, something like that. And so what does that usually mean? Well, it may mean taking on a new mindset, a new perspective of the situation that you're going through, a new perspective of people involved in the situation, new perspective on anything or person that you perceive as more powerful than you, maybe shifting the way that you see that. And maybe, it would be beneficial to do some inspirational reading, follow the threads of what books have you felt drawn towards reading. It might be some sort of self-help book or spiritual book or anything at all, right? What have you been, there might be something there for me. What have you felt drawn towards? And what if you followed that? And what if you read that, whatever it is? And then what if you, were to, utilize whatever messages come through for you as that extension of God, of the angels, the universe, really wanting to give to you and support you on your journey forward. The trees. Take a deep breath in. Please know that everything is always possible. And your journey is unique to you as well. So let me know what you're taking away from today's conversation, wherever you listened or watched. I love doing these, and I hope you enjoy them as well. Let me know what you're taking away. Remember that every day is always a new day, and I'll see you again soon. And again, remember, if you're looking to connect with me further, looking for some coachings, custom guided meditation session, something that would be useful and beneficial, therapeutic or cathartic for you, I'd love to assist you in that because that's what I do. So definitely reach out to me at KimO'NeillCoaching.com. Have an amazing day. I'll see y'all again soon.